time, you have parents saying, "Oh, I'm really gutted. I can't take the kids to McDonald's." And I'm thinking, "But why are you unhappy about it? You're going to spend £15 on food, and then you get home and they're hungry again. Why are you unhappy about that?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't want to say it's not. You can have it every now and again, but you know, too much.
I think there will be a percentage. Look, this virus, right? Just look at percentages. There's going to be a percentage of people whose behaviour will change completely because of this virus. You will not see them out the house without a mask. You will never ever see them in groups of more than 2 people. They won't go big places anymore. That is permanent now in their mind. That is how they're going to live.
Yeah.
There'll be others, like you say, Erica. You say, "Yeah, man, health. I go vitamin D. I go yoga. I go do all these things to fight off this virus." And then you've got someone saying, "Boo, it's all right. Hey, the pubs are open again. Bill, come on."
That's what I was trying to talk about with consumerism last week, though, when I was trying to say, look, it's all well and good opening up all these places again, but it's going to have to be profitable for each of these establishments to make the money back. And some of these people can't operate with 50% going through the door. Some of them can't operate with 70% going through the door. You know how hard it is, Nigel. You deal with enough businesses, yeah, and I bet you a lot of them are businesses that are out there, not just online. I don't know. I'm sure you've dealt with a lot.
Anyone like restaurants, any food places, pubs, whatever, they're dead. Hotels, dead. You know.
Herds have gone out of business, innit? Herds.
Pardon?
Herds.
Yeah,
the car company.
Rents can't.
Yeah, but you'll probably find most of the big companies who are going. There's a reason why they're going, and it ain't to do with COVID. It's to do with debt.
Yeah.
The fact that because they need to make X amount per week to pay their interest. As soon as they can't pay that interest, the creditors say, "Ho, we're calling it all in now." So we've heard you'll probably find they're built on a mountain of debt anyway, and that's the thing. The whole world's built on debt.
Yeah.
So we
sand.
I speak about Trillium.
Someone warm up the printers, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So. Well, yeah, definitely, Erica, what you said, I think, some people will definitely look more so at their health. But, I think the thing with COVID, it was taking anybody, fit, healthy, black, white, all young. You've got young kids now who are getting Kawasaki disease as a byproduct of them having COVID. So it's like, you know what I mean? So to me, it's like, yeah.
I just think it's uncertain times. Either way, that we're in these uncertain times, and going back to what Erica was saying about, like, say, just health and well-being and everything. There is a lot of people, I think, in general, who was turning towards it now. There's a lot of people who are sort of getting woke into this hang on. I want to live healthy. I want to live longer, because we're taught to be more conscious, whether the leaders are following it or not. We're taught to be more conscious. We're taught to be more reflective. Look at the world in a different way, because people are living a lot longer in general. If you take away this natural disaster, or this disaster that we're going through, people are living, and this is why we've got a pensions crisis, because the models never predicted people living longer. And I don't know why, but a lot of the models that you see is this real slow incremental rise in people's life expectancy. But if you go back 20, 30 years, there was a massive jump in how long you're meant to live, and it's probably only 5 years, but 5 years is a massive difference between what I saw as a kid, when you was expected to live till 77, 76, and now it's more like 82, 83.
I think what's happened recently is, well, it has kind of plateaued. So the scientists were worried. You see, the thing that's very hypocritical about all this. Let's look at what the government say to us. Live healthy, live long, stay healthy, don't do this, don't do that, you're going to live longer. And on the other hand, they say, oh, by the way, when you get to 70, you can't retire, you've still got to work. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that pension you're relying on won't actually be there anymore. So what they're saying is live longer to be brooker when you're older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you've got any health problems now, you better sell your house.
And
so now you become more stressed.
Then pay for the care that you've already paid for in tax because you've worked for the last 60 years. It's hypocritical. I'll tell you guys now, I don't want to live forever. I don't want to be 100 in this world. I don't want to be 100. 80, whatever. You don't want to be.
Depends where you are in the world, though. Nigel, depends where you are in the world.
I don't even
in the UK.
I don't want to be. I don't want to grow old in this. Well, I don't want to be 100. You know what I mean? If I get to 99, I'll be happy. But I don't want to live. And the thing is, what I remember is the way that people go on the health authorities. Don't do this and don't do that. They're talking about you prolonging your life for an extra year if you don't eat red meat. Wow. It's like when they say to you after the budget, families will be £29 a year better off. £29. That's
Yeah.
a week. You know what I mean? But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. They give you these little minute numbers and make you got
increments.
Supposed to feel like really celebrate it. But what? Okay, I think
what you're celebrating, isn't it?
Exactly. I've seen them do budget before, and they've done the thing on the news afterwards, and they said, "Oh, families will be £100 better off this year." And it's like, who gets £100 and thinks, "Yeah, that's going to change my family life"?
Ain't gonna change no one's life.
If you want to change someone's life, it's got to be thousands of pounds better.
Yeah.
Change someone's life. You know what I mean? It's got to be a real change, not always £20 a week, £20 a month extra, and you're gonna, life's good now. Oh, but by the way, your poll tax has gone up by £100, so we're taking off that.
Yeah. It's got 100, but we're gonna take that as tax. So thanks.
You know the worst thing about right now. The worst thing about right now is that we've been locked away, and fuel hasn't been this cheap for the last 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
But you can't go out and fill your tank and go for a nice long drive because you'll get in trouble. But it's cheaper now to go out and do something than it's ever been, and we can't do it.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then Dominic Cummings.
I'm not subscribing to that, man.
So,
look, man, I don't care. Whoever's in government, it's always do as I say, not as I do. Come on, guys. How old are we? We're all 30 plus. Come on, man. We've been here before, ain't we? And we've been here before. We've been here before. So for me, it's like, I think the worst thing about it is it's turned into another witch hunt, Caroline Flack kind of witch hunt.
Yeah.
Look what happened to her. If this guy jumps off a building next week, we'll always, we're so full of remorse, and we shouldn't have driven him to this. Really, it's bullshit, man. It's like it's just.
that dude everyone's talking about on Twitter, this Cummings dude.
Dominic Cummings, yeah.
Jesus Christ, well.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, look, the thing is, people are going on like, say, these guys are superhuman. We've always had government that say, do as I say, but not as I do. Doesn't matter who's in power. Doesn't matter, even your local authority, your councillors, they all break rules when it suits them. We had a councillor in Birmingham when we had lockdown, even though we were told no funerals. He went to a funeral with 100 people. That wasn't blown up in the media and people chasing him down the road and coming outside his house and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, we're talking.
So you got to look at who it is. It's Dominic Cummings. Oh, it's Boris Johnson's right hand man. Oh, let's go for him because that will hurt the government. That's the whole. They've politicised it. It ain't because it's valid. They're just trying to turn it into a political score point. They're trying to score points. And for me, that ain't right because it's bullcrap. Because he's done it. Big deal. There's bigger things going on. What about these care homes? Go sort out some of these care homes. The people are dying. You're hounding the man down and you come out your house. So what? All them journalists who are stood next, none of them were social distancing. Should they all get sacked as well?
Yeah.
Anyway,
guys.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I want to go back onto MYRON because we're going on a bit longer.
Sorry, MYRON.
Yeah, we got.
You still here?
Yeah, he's still there.
It's like MYRON, what do you do? Anyway, moving on.
I want to finish up.
You got to London. You was in London for a year.
Oh, did you not hear that I went to Urban Outfitters? You went.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard that.
You
finished your cruise. You got back. He was like, "I ain't leaving," and then
and then I went to. I got a job in. I was in London for a year. Yeah.
You signed a contract with someone?
With a big dance agency who do like artist work and stuff, and then that even confirmed with me that I wasn't gonna go back on the cruise, and I was happy that I made that decision. I think I auditioned for Thriller, and then I did the tour for Thriller.
Also, Thriller came after.
How long was you on Thriller for, man?
I did 2 contracts. I did one on tour, like where I toured like the UK and Europe.
That's when we came to see
then
you,
I did that's when you came to, and I came to Germany as well.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Great to see you, man.
Yeah. And then I did a year in the West End in London, and that's when I moved back to London. And so, but then I they called me on and off, like to come and cover sometimes. Which was nice. But that was when I got injured. I got injured like 2000 and I want to say 16.
What did you do?
I hurt my my knee, I can't remember what it's called, my meniscus.
Oh, meniscus, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that kind of slowed me down a little bit. So now I'm just like doing the odd jobs and teaching a lot.
Yeah, teaching. So how's the teaching? You go to school?
Pardon?
You got your own school, haven't you? Or your own class at least?
No. Yeah, I've got my own classes, yeah. So I teach at a college, and then I teach like kids that are like in the West End. So they're like really good kids, like kids with like agents, and like they do like stuff in films. And like some of them they can either really, really sing and can't really dance that much, or they can really, really dance but can't really sing.
Yeah, okay.
But I just teach the dance tier, but they're so talented. And then I do the dance jobs around that work.
Myron, have you kept like a record of how many TV appearances you've had? Because Wayne, you know how many times I've been sat watching television?
Oh no, it just pops up out of nowhere.
That's Myron, that is. Or watching The Apprentice. That's Myron, that is. Yeah. How many times have you been on TV, man?
You're The Apprentice?
I actually haven't counted, you know, like I haven't counted. I mean, it's all on my CV, I guess. So maybe if I count the things that I've done for TV, maybe.
But, you know, I forget to be on TV every bloody week.
Yeah, you know what? I forget that, like, I forget that being on TV I forget that, because for me, it's just like, it's like work. I know it sounds really weird and silly, but like, I go in and I do it, and I forget that people
are watching.
That I know will watch. In my head, I'm just like, oh, it's just like I don't know. It's really weird.
It's cool though. Because like, you know, Caroline gets the phone out, starts recording the screen, and we send it around all the families. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's like when back in the day when the West Indies used to play England, and all the black people go, yeah man, West Indies, man, bust up the English man there. So like when you're on TV, Myron, it's like a big joy. It's almost like, you know, the first time you saw a black man on television and thought, Mummy, there's a black man on television. It's almost like that.
You lie.
No, I'll tell you what blew me away. And I don't know if Erica would have seen it. I don't know if she would have if she had a chance to check out Myron before the show. But he's got a show reel. And this show reel, like, it's one of my favourite things. I've watched it loads of times and that, and you just see all the things that he's been on. You see him stand. Yeah, I watched it loads of times, man. Where you was on, it shows you with Robbie Williams. It shows you with, what's her name, man? I love her as well. God, I don't know.
Beyonce.
No. Jess Glynn. Yeah, see with Jess Glynn and people like that. I was thinking, this thing's brilliant, and you see the awards. Was it the BAFTAs that time as well, Myron? That you did?
The Brit Awards.
Was it the Brit Awards? Yeah, and it shows stuff from that. It's just really good, but there's a show reel. It's a couple of minutes long. You have to have a look at it. I've seen it on YouTube, I think.
What's Will Smith like, man?
You met Will Smith?
Will Smith is the nicest guy ever. Like, honestly, like, he's basically like you, Nigel.
Yeah.
Like, he's like so down to earth.
Nigel.
He is. He's really sweet. He's really.
Just tell him one day if he's lucky, he can get to meet our Nigel, man. But he's on his best behaviour, and he behaves himself for a year straight.
We'll go out there, man. Get jiggy with it.
So. Who do you aspire to work with, man? Is it Beyonce? Is that the person you really want to dance for at some point in the future?
You know what? Like, now, I feel like my dreams kind of changed. Like, it would have been Beyonce, because she was like the biggest person at that point, and I was a fan of her music. Now, not so much. Her music doesn't really resonate with me.
Yeah, music ain't so good now, is it? I was thinking that.
No, so I feel like it would be someone more like, I like Ariana Grande, but I wouldn't like to dance for her. I'd like to like create for her. So like I'd like to choreograph for her, or like be on the creative team to what she, like, her concerts, or like what she's doing, like on more that side. So I think I would like to be more behind the scenes than in front of the camera, if that makes sense.
And what are you doing to get to that part, the behind the scenes part? Are you doing what are you doing to get towards that?
Well, it's working.
Sorry, Nigel, you cut out then.
I felt like a dad asking his son what time he's come back from the party, you know. If that's what you want, though, bro, if that's what you want, investigate how you get into it, man. Because the thing is, your dream doesn't end today. It doesn't end because you're 30 in August. You've got a whole heap of time in front of you, man. So if you've got if you already know what the next stage is, go and find the path you need to walk.
I think he's already on the path, man. I think at some point, you know, he's got his school.
Yeah, but
his pupils probably my teacher was really good. He can teach us, and then he's.
Yeah, but to get behind the scenes,
like the seeds in it.
you've got to start mixing networking.
Oh yeah, you got to start.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's the same with anything.
It's funny though, because
while you're there, you have to take any opportunity you've got just to at least take a card, you know, at least speak to people and introduce yourself and become a name that they at least know to wave to and say hello to, at the very least.
That is something that I struggle with. Like, I am not, like, even though you may think, oh, Myron's really bubbly. I am to a certain extent, but like, I am not a very good networker. Like, you know how some people can like be in a room and they can work the room and network the room.
Me and Nigel probably got that gift.
Yeah.
You know something, right? Me and Wayne, next time you have one of your shindigs, me and Wayne are coming out with you.
Yeah.
We'll be your
oh, no, you're going to end his career.
There's a fireman.
You're going to end his career, man. Myron, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, brother.
Listen, what it is, we all wear penguin suits, but we wear a black jacket, you wear a red jacket, and we'll walk around and work the room for you, brother. We'll be like, yo, you know about Myron? You know when Myron dances, the angels come down and watch.
Yeah.
You ever seen it?
You know what? I did an image I keep getting.
Watch this, man. Watch this. Yeah, you can friend him, follow him, like him, get his card. Right, next, I'll see you later.
Do you know what the image I'm getting? I'm getting this one image and it's coming through strong. You know Dumb and Dumber? The orange and blue suits and that, and the stuff in that.
I could do that too.
They got the money and they got the top hat, they got the top hats and that, and the canes. That's what you're doing. You end careers, man. You would end careers.
No,
we're laughing about something in the corner though. They're doing a charity fundraiser in the background.
I don't know how you can get me and Wayne mixed up with them two damn ass fool fat man.
No, but I'm just saying,
me and Nigel are ones, man.
Take over the room from me. Take over the room.
No, we would know, but seriously, but it's in all seriousness, Myron. A good agent for you, or a good wingman. Now Wayne's a good wingman. Wayne is a good wingman. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? He's the man who'll go there. That big grin, you know what I mean?
$1 million grin.
And that's all he might be, because I've done it before where I've gone networking with somebody who isn't a networker, and I've introduced them. I've walked them around the room, man. By the time they're finished, they've had connections and everything else. So, you know, but I hear what you're saying, because even though we all have a front, that power sometimes for some people is only powerful enough for a small group of people, or people we know, or people we trust. Others, who, like myself and Wayne, I would imagine as well, and Simon as well. You know, we can go into a room cold, speak to a man, speak to a next man. Next thing you know, you're having a big conversation, taking numbers. You know, you're leaving the room. So, but like I say, you know, get a wingman, get someone who's comfortable doing it, and let them do all the talking. And all you got to do is smile and say, "Yeah, that's me, the best. Have my card. I'll speak to you."
Yeah, man.
But let us know. I'd like to come to a big showbiz party, so let me know.
You ain't got no hair, dude, man.
Give him a chance to get his hair done. Give him a chance to get his hair done. He does have a wig. No wig this week. No, I'm surprised that you never came with a wig.
Oh yeah? What's in the wig, man? Hello?
I am boss.
Man.
I'm talking about. I'm Pimp Daddy, man. Yo, where's my money, bitch? Where's my money at? My money.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of Friday. Is it next Friday, Pinky?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You know what? Did we want to do our Eric? Did you have something for the Afro segment?
I think I missed this in the group. Sorry, I missed some of the messages today.
Oh, you didn't I actually prepared something actually. Or did anyone else prepare anything? Did you want to?
If you got something, do it. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to start posting I'm going to post some Black History stuff in the group once a week on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I just got to schedule it in, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find.
You got something, Wayne? Man, good to see you, though, little bro.
So nice.
We have to get you back on again, man. We have to get you back on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem, man. No problem.
Okay. What I wanted to talk about.
I'm going to give you a shout.
Yep. Oh yeah, give us a bio, man, and we'll put it up. Well, I wanted to talk about this.
Bio pictures and everything.
Yep. I want to talk about a guy. He's the richest man in history. Was an African king.
Go on,
his name was Mansa Musa the first.
Oh man,
Mansa.
I knew it. This geezer, yeah. He owes me 20 quid. I'm telling you, this Mansa Musa dude, yeah. He's been shafted, everyone, bruv. Don't be doing no Black History about him, yeah. My man owes me money, bro. I'm telling you, Mansa Musa. It's from Lazelle's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lazelle's, you know.
We're talking about the African king. Okay, put it this way. Put it this way. Bill Gates has roughly 90 million. The Rockefellers have 300 billion. But this guy, Mansa Musa, had an estimated wealth of 400 billion.
When?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was back in the day, man. This was like, I'll actually let me find out. So I didn't bring out 1280. The year 1280.
AD.
1280.
AD or BC?
There's only one. AD is the only one, man.
1280.
Not BC.
Yeah, there's 12. Yeah, so what was the year before?
So basically, it was a Malian king, and he was a really good businessman back then. Mali, from Mali.
The thing is, how do they measure that wealth?
Oh,
I don't know, but and that
I think he had gold. He acquired gold and oil and stuff like this, and salt. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what this. So I should have made some notes. This is the only thing I didn't make any notes on because I actually thought.
Oh, brother, man, I can pull that off for you, man.
Wait. One of the main ambitions was to make the empire, the African empire of Mali, the biggest and wealthiest African continent. We're talking about a time when Europe, for instance, was knee-deep in the worst misery with the plague lurking, bringing devastation to almost every European city. He was a devout Muslim.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a Muslim, yeah.
Of course, Mali is still a Muslim country, and to this day.
Yeah. And yeah, it's right. Timbuktu, isn't it?
Yeah,
Timbuktu is Malian.
You know what? I'd love to, even though you wouldn't ever get the same between tribes and countries, but I'd love to actually know what the original religion was for a lot of these African countries. Because he wouldn't have been Muslim, he wouldn't have been Christian. I think
the thing is, it changed. I think it's even still to this day, it changes a lot. You know, it's really like, I think, like in England, dialects change every 20 miles or so. Like literally, you get to Coventry, it changes. I think, literally in a lot of African countries, I can't say for Mali, but in a lot of African countries, that is the case as well. So, all right, it might only be a small settlements or a small village, but they'll literally have their own language, and then the next settlement might be able to understand the next village, but they'll have their own language too, and so on and so forth. Even to this day, it's still really difficult for people to get in and translate because there's so many local, really local dialects, and I guess it's the same with a lot of things. There's going to be traditions and things that are the same, but a lot of their ways of communicating was through their dance and everything, because a lot of that still in African culture, and same as in like a Maori culture or Aboriginal culture, is connection to the land, and that spiritual evoking spirits and dancing for this and dancing for that, still exists, and a lot of that is really unique and set to one or two settlements as well, even to this day. So I think it's just shows about diversity way before this time now. There was a lot of diversity back then.
Wow. It was funny because they said that one time this guy, when he used to visit these different cities, this Mansa Musa, he used to go in a caravan. He used to have up to 60,000 animals with him. An entourage of 1,000 soldiers, slaves, servants, and heraldic carried a serious amount of gold that they would give to the poor. That's what he used to do, going around, like just giving out his money. He got rich after.
The original Bill Gates.
Well, the same guy that your friend was telling us about when we was in Germany, actually, when he said that he took a caravan of so many, different animals and people and servants and all this to go to Mecca, to the pilgrim.
Yeah, that's it. That's the same guy.
Was it Mansa Musa?
Yeah, Mansa Musa, yeah.
Yeah, so he got turned away, didn't he?
From Mecca?
Yeah, he got turned away either on the way there, or someone tried to stop him on the way there, or when he got there. It's just the same guy.
I think actually,
this reconfirms what I'm saying about black positive images, though. This guy, I'm 46 now. That's the first time I've heard about this guy. That's the first time I've seen a statement where they say this man would have been richer than John Rockefeller, who's the richest man in the world. And he's a black man. Why ain't this in school? Why am I only finding out about this when I'm 46? Why ain't they saying this, telling our young people that, hey, you know something, see this guy here? He's the same as you. He was the richest man in the world. As opposed to, oh yeah, you're going to sell drugs, or you're going to do this, or you're going to be one of them, or gangster, or shot, or whatever. Give us some aspiration, man.
With that, though, I think the problem with that is, I think when you get to a certain age, you can appreciate it, and you can't. Well,
yeah.
The thing is, now, what I mean by that, let me just finish though. What I mean by that now, it's the way that the kids are now. Unless it's Fortnite, they're interested. So even if they were in history, even if they were interested in history, they're not going to want to look at a little illustrated drawing of what somebody looked like 1,000 years ago. We need people to look at now and go, oh,
yeah, but you're being generalistic, man.
No, I'm not trying to say everybody. What I'm trying to say to you is that, look, we need people now where we can look at, you know, role models from today, from years gone by. We don't want to have to go back 1,000 years to show. I mean, and look, we've got not better, but more a richer history that comes forward probably to the last 100 years, even like last.
And I hear what you're saying, and you know, you have got a point. But never generalize, because you take 1 million kids, black kids, and you give them this information. There's going to be a percentage of those children whose lives will change because of what they're seeing. There's going to be a percentage of those kids who've heard negative connotations related to our colour. They will see something like that and go, "Wow." You know what I mean? Because that's a big thing.
Yeah, I suppose,
for myself personally, if you think about it, growing up, when I used to see someone of colour on TV, that's a huge thing for me. Oh my God, there's a man of colour on television. Imagine being told, oh, the richest man in the world was a black man. As opposed to hearing about all these other white, I've got nothing against white, all these other people of different colours who have succeeded, what we haven't in everyone else's eyes. That's a huge thing, man. That's bloody huge, that is. I'm peed off, man.
Anyway, man, I think we're coming to the end of the show, man. We've done, Nigel said he can't do 2 hours, so we're not going to try and get there.
How as you get?
Let's go around the room, starting with Erica. Erica, you got anything to say?
Yeah, just to add on to that, my children love horrible histories, so I think we should make a black horrible history.
We could do that, actually. We could do that.
Have you got illustrators? If we have, we can bring it to life.
Actually, saying that, we're going to talk about that in the future. I found a lot of guys on the Fiverr because I got a couple of projects that I want to illustrate. So we'll talk about it in the future. Myron, you got anything to promote or anything to say?
I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, yo.
The pleasure was ours, brother.
I said big shots, small. Big
I always, you know what? I always feel quite lighter when I've had a conversation now and listen to like voices. It's so calm.
Yeah, it's nice, man. That's how we do.
Come on again, you know.
Yeah, no, I will. I have to.
Yeah, you got to finish your story, man.
You, Kevin, and Vanessa. Lord God.
Oh, man. No, that'll be another podcast. No, that'll be no. That'll be no, not on this podcast. No. Anyway, Sai.
Well, I'm going to raise a topic for next week, so I just wanted to give people a little reminder. Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, but look, wind it back. Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos have made 25 and 33 billion pounds in the last 3 months during COVID. I think we'll talk about that next week. That's more than they would expecting to make.
Of course they have. We had this conversation 3 months ago. I said to you, people will come out of this richer than when they came in.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that next week.
Cool, man. Nigel?
Oh, God, I'm going to say that. Right, yeah, okay, listen, man. Tomorrow, I've got my crash course. Workshop, look for sales, hate selling. Any business owners who are looking or struggling to generate any kind of traction with their online marketing, give us a shout. I'll help you out. Great show tonight, guys. Really good show, man. Really enjoyed it. I like the video concept.
We might have to do this permanently now. We might have to do this all the time.
I got like ADHD, man. I can't keep still, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to do this all the time. I think this is the way to go now, forward. All right, man, guys. We can all dance this one out. Thanks for listening. I'm Alstallio. This is the Real Locker Room Talk with the Horsemen. 5 Horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, there's some horse and some black people.
Yeah, some, yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you later, man. You can dance out to the tune, okay? Let's dance.